live dashboard. Look at our Clojure file, and I think I will just end this project right there. I think we done enough for to we done enough to actually understand how what it takes to build a REST API in Clojure and how it will feel overall. So what I did now, and I created this notes table, and we have notes, and notes will have tags, and one note can have many tags. So what I created, it will be a many to many relationship. So yes, so I created notes tags table, and it has node ID. And what I noticed that we don't really need ID for this, and we will simply get rid of that at some point. Then we have a tag ID, and they both are foreign key to the related tables. And let's look at the tag table. Tag table has like ID and name and timestamp. So okay, so the issue I had with the Clojure, I think I would not say issue, but I think it's been really long time since I dealt with the SQL directly. I think on few occasions when I have to optimize, I use then I use SQL, but it's like one day in 1 year, probably something like that. So I was not sure how I was gonna do that. So what I did, I kinda let's go to PHP. So PHP has, if you're not familiar with that, PHP has this ORM eloquent. It's used by Laravel framework, and we are using that. So what I did in Laravel, so I think I'm familiar with the ORMs more compared to the SQL itself, but I think learning SQL is really must. I think when I started, I learned I learned, but now let's look at where we are. So belong to many, and it has notes belongs to many tags, and belongs to many takes a tag class. Then it takes a table which is like middleman, in our case notes tags. And next thing what we provide is current models ID. So the next thing is current models ID. So for example, if we are using nodes, and let's look at the data, and it has ID number 4, and just for reference, now in node tags table, the node ID should match so it's basically a parent ID, and next thing is the tag ID. So if we have to build upon that on other things, let's say we have post, and post have many tags, and we have post tags. So how would we define belongs to in that scenario? So the first will be the same. I'm notice that this is Clojure and we are learning about PHP, but I think I think it's super used. Why not just give a small tutorial on many to many? Then it's like the relationship the table where we store the relation data. So that will be post tags. So next will be the post ID. Remember, the third parameter is parent ID. So post ID, and then we have to specify the tag ID. So tag ID. Now let's look at what we got, and if we refresh, this is the query data we get. And I also in web.php, so with nodes with tags simply get. Now what we are doing, we are also like enable query log, so we can view the query. So it's basically running two queries, and the query I come up with was a bit complex, and I just wanted to like have a reference, and that query was simple, so I thought why not just use that. Now one thing you may notice, like we have a title and it's a note, right? So it has an ID of 4. Then notes has tag number 1, tag number 2, tag number 3, and let's see those: 1, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So it's selecting data correctly. Now let's run all those queries each, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna simply select this, and I already ran a few things. Now query select. Now what it did is like selected all the posts, or maybe if you have like you want to specify a particular post, you simply say id is equal to 1. In case we don't have one, you can specify 4. And after that, so in here what we're doing, we are simply selecting all the tags, and we also select nodes tag, node ID. From relationship we also select tag ID, then we use it as a pivot table, and from tags we run an inner join on relational table, and tag ID is equal to nodes tag ID, and we select all those stuff, right? So once we run that, we get all that result. Now what we need to do, we need to convert this query into SQL, my Honey SQL, and let's just do that. Also what I noticed that I also be like learning more about SQL, running like building bit complex queries, because I think my skill in SQL is getting super rusty, so I'll do that. But then again, it's like I'm probably not gonna run those queries manually unless I do a project in Clojure. Then I will also forget. So one thing you will notice, like when we are in Clojure. So since I am not using any ORM, because I think max I can use what was the SQL Clojure. Let's go to Clojure toolbox, and it has SQL ORM. Let's go previous Hug SQL. I think Hug SQL sound kind of like fun, but I think if you want to learn SQL, you probably end up using Yeah, you should try that. So it's like a templating for SQL. You simply provide parameters and assign values. I think, yeah, that's how you're gonna run your queries. Then you load that SQL file, provide data, and the system will run the query. I think from overview it looks like that. So you have the function name, document, get character by ID. So yeah, I think if you, I think working in Clojure will make you super good in Clojure, so super good in SQL. So let's see how we're gonna fetch the data. So we can close our server in Laravel and go to area 51. I think we don't have aliens. Maybe we do have aliens. It's Clojure. Okay, so let's just run REPL, and we have to comment this out. Actually, so len REPL cmd REPL. Okay, never mind. No, we are live streaming. Okay, this is stream here. Close that. I think for now we'll just keep it open. Now we have to import. So one thing I was thinking, since it's super REPL driven Clojure, and why don't we just add a do block to like import all the statements. But never mind, what we're gonna do, so we need SQL, require SQL as SQL. What else we're gonna use? SQL helper, and next thing we're gonna do, buddy, in libdb require this also. Now we got all the dependencies, hopefully, and let's call db query. What are we gonna do? Select SQL, select all, and from nodes, and it should be enough, right? So h from execution connection, local create from timestamp 0 data value. Okay, so the error is we have in nodes empty timestamp, and it should not be empty because I created those values manually, so it does not like. Yes, now it should work fine. Okay, so do we have empty values in tags nodes? So yes, we just did that. Never mind. Okay, we're gonna pretty print. Interesting. Clojure pprint. Now, so we selected all the nodes, right? So, and let's define a function define all. Let's get rid of that. And I think we are good with that approach. And okay, let's get rid of all the comments and let's post it here. Running fail, everything is failing somehow. Also we defined table name, let's use that. So let's format a bit and yeah, looks fine. And let's define this and notes table for obviously, and it should be notes. Define that. Let's call all. Okay, so we got it. Can we define def p clojure dot pprint pprint? So now we got the package. Now what we're gonna do, all, and call p on the all, and we get all the posts. Now from all the posts we're gonna select map ID. So we're gonna select all the post IDs, and I'm gonna see why my air conditioning making weird sound. Yeah, everything is good now. So we selected all the IDs from post. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna build our query that selects tags, and you will notice that we have to query tags. Let's run that in query side. Actually we already have that, so let's use this. So how we gonna convert it into HoneySQL? So select HoneySQL select, and there are gonna be a lot of selects. Tag, what else we gonna select? Node ID, pivot ID. So one thing I notice, if you wanna name it as, you simply have to provide a vector in HoneySQL. Then this is how you gonna do it. And provide, okay, we don't have to call as, right? And do that. This is your select. Now you're gonna do h from tags, then you cut it out, add no h join, join, then you provide vector. Should it be a vector? Join tags on tag.id. So what else? Now we have where h.where where item in and we're gonna provide nodes ID in that scenario. So let's fetch nodes. So it will be like all, then we call it net nodes all, and we will say IDs, and we will call map ID from nodes. For now, let's just pause that in here, and we will call map ID. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna run into a few errors. Yep, let's see if we get any error. Yeah, we do get error. And REPL CMD E CDA 51 CD LAN REPL. Interesting. Do we have to do everything again? Okay, define table. Then what we gonna do? We do that. Okay, line number 6, where node ID is equal to honey SQL where is there any example for in? Yeah, we got it. And select where for in a from all. What is the error? We are closing everything. Okay, let's try to build this thing first. Okay, so it works, right? Clojure, more like 3D print. So select all tags and the values from these join nodes. So we don't have to provide a vector, in join, but in case I think let's cut it out. So join, yeah. If we are like calling multiple joins, multiple inner joins, you can provide a vector and it will be like I think vector then the next join. Yep. So this part is working, and why it's not working? I think good thing about this is I can simply run that, and okay, so they are not happy about something. Let's get rid of that in 1 2. I think they are expecting why this error? Okay, we are not closing our vector, so I think we're still not doing it right. Oh yeah, we are doing it correctly. Let's run it. Yep. So run that. Join where in. Let's try to run this query now. db query. Okay, we get errors. So don't know how to create iSeek from keyword. So basically where it should be a vector or a iSeek, we provided a keyword, and let's see if we can figure out what we did wrong. So in select we are doing that. So can we do that? And let's try to run it again, and we will define a query. Oh, I'm missing something. Let's go to notes and think we are missing. Come on, let's restart. Okay, no, we might need that, but I'm not sure. Get rid of that. Now we're gonna close this. Also, let's close PHP. Now I think there might be few issue with the code. Don't. Yeah, I think there are few issues with my text editor today. I'm unable to see the proper indenting. Okay, let's define that. Cow. And query db.query dp query. Okay, and unknown column, nodes tags dot id. Nodes id in field list, unknown column. I think we provided names correctly, right? And that could be related to, so let's say we want to select certain thing, select id. Actually we can select foo.a and tags. Okay, so where are we getting error? Notes.tag id, tag.id in notes. And let's go back to error message. Okay, so it has to be like in those two scenarios. So either the select is wrong or we are doing something wrong in, I'm pretty sure, I think it's in select. But before we get into that, let's print q and pretty print that. Now select tags and let's build a SQL format query. Okay, let's select that and compare this to our main query, right? Select tags, notes, no, and note id as note id. We are note. Okay, maybe something is wrong in here. Is it? I don't know. Let's try to run that in SQL. And format this from, and we will just add 4 and 5, right? And we will comment it out. Can we comment this? So let's see what we are doing wrong and try to run that, and we are doing something wrong. Okay, let's get rid of that. Run. Interesting. Select everything from tags, notes tag, node id as pivot table, notes tags, tag id. Okay, from tags. Oh, we don't have join in here. Where is join? Join is missing. Join notes, right? It's missing. Looks to me like we haven't updated the query. And let's build SQL format Okay, so interesting. So it's complaining about this scenario, and let's see how SQLite handles join. Okay, so we are doing something wrong, right? It should be like that. Join nodes, yes. I think it should work fine now. And let's run this in here. We will simply call 4 and 5 and run it. Hopefully it's not working. Okay, so we have inner join on tags. Inner join on tags, tag ID. Okay, why it's doing this? Okay, we should be doing something like equal to. And where is our join nodes on tag ID is equal to? Yep. And we will not say that. Hopefully it will work, but let's see if it works. Four and 5, and it's not. It worked. Nice, awesome. So we got all the tags right. Somehow managed to done that. Now let's go def with tags notes with tags. And what we're gonna do in here, we only gonna select IDs, not select tags, or we can say select tags. Yeah, we can say that for now. And next thing will be let. In let we're gonna do, it has a really big query. I think we just simply gonna run this query and do query db.query, and there you go, right? And we will replace this with IDs, and let's see if we, okay, that's gonna be bad if I'm not gonna get highlights. I think I'm screwed up a plugin in VS Code. So to running contribute failed, great. And let's, okay, I think we have a bug. Interesting. Let's run it if it's working properly. Okay. No, it should close this one. Okay, I see. Let's run the too many fan. Select tags from post number 4 and 5, right? And we're gonna pretty print them. Okay, so we can now build up based on pivot ID, but here's the thing. As you can see, the entire like we select the post, and if we can go to ph cd tdocs dev test.local code, and we gonna use web. Okay, so with this, just declaring nodes with the tags, I was able to get the whole thing. And under tags, I think this explains like why PHP is more used. I think people have problems that I think web applications have less problems than a general purpose system. I'm not sure. But I think Clojure really lacks a ORM, good ORM. Then again, it's super opinionated. You're probably not gonna use Clojure unless okay, so let's see. Eloquent, actually nodes. So I think what Clojure avoids is this, that this entire thing Clojure tries to avoid it. I mean, just look at the lines of code the entire Laravel project has. I'm pretty sure that Clojure language itself probably have less code than the Laravel. I'm not judging anything. I think everything serves a purpose, but yeah, never mind. So I think if you are going to develop a web using Clojure, get ready to do dirty work unless you find a good ORM, which I'm unable to find. Tags. Okay, let's bring it back, close that, and I think with the little code I get more done in PHP because everything is already written by somebody else. And in Clojure, what I understood is like you have everything from I would not say basic, but the language is strong enough to deal with the complexity, but I think it does need a good ORM. So let's see. So we select tags. I will just try to map the result according to this. Now if we should be combining with the nodes, and let's first of all see what we get in nodes. Defn nodes uh, so it's probably will be like something select items, not select items. Okay, so I will name it whatever, so like tags, notes with tags, with tags. It will take, as of now, nothing. In case we will add IDs, but if it's null we will not call where, right? So notes, let notes will be notes, right? So I think we might want to rename that so we don't conflict with the function. Also, one more thing, you have to use define function before you call it in the next function, which is kind of annoying, and it's, I think it's workable still, but it will be nice. So we have tags, notes with tags, we can get tags. Okay, map ID or notes, right? Then we select tags from those nodes. Now once we have all that data, what are we gonna do? We gonna, first of all, let's do this in REPL. Def tags in this context. Okay, we probably want to define tags. I seek def notes. Notes mini notes. Then let's define notes. We did that already. Okay, so let's look at the notes. Do all. Interesting. Okay, so we should be calling nodes, and so are we going to iterate? And let's call tags. So we have this nodes ID, so in case it matches that, we can also push into the array, right? Or are we gonna loop over the entire thing? And yes, I think that will be like optimal way would be to like loop over nodes, and as n, let's call just n, and provide some value to it. Now also we have to, and we are modifying the n, are we? Yes, and we will have a return value. Return value, vector or a map, and it's a list of vectors, so we gonna return the list. Fine. Build resume, never mind. Return, right, so we also provide that. Now what we gonna do, and when n or if nil. Okay, first let's say let and notes. Interesting. And notes first. No, one thing I noticed, we shouldn't name these notes because it's gonna be like super confusing in the long run. So if n is nil n means we don't have any item to iterate on. We simply return value that we want to return, right? In next scenario we gonna call recur. Actually, let's see if it's the correct form. Clojure recur, and in recur we will send the rest of the nodes, and we also have to build our return value, and let's do that. For now we just can push right there. Okay, so what I would like is to like select all the tags where ID is given, right? So we're gonna call filter. That part is super fun, right? I mean, like things like that makes Clojure kind of interesting, or maybe it's functional, I don't know. So we're gonna filter, and okay, so we're gonna filter by ID number. Filter if this dot pivot node ID is equal to 5 from tags. Pivot node ID. So we get all the items that has ID number 5. Now what we need to do is provide n's ID. So what we are doing, we are filtering out all the items that no, we actually gonna keep all the items that has the ID number related to nodes, right, from those tags. So we will just get all the tags that belongs to that node and append in the node. So for pushing something to a map, we're gonna use a sock. Try to map, return a new map, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna call a sock something to and then conch it to return, right? This is what we're gonna do. A sock something to n, it will return a new copy. And what we're gonna do, so we're gonna do this thing, right? Now what I noticed that this function is kind of going crazy. So what we might want to use, let not, probably not. So okay, I shouldn't have. Now so okay, I forgot everything. Great. So what we were doing, let's get rid of that. Now let's see, first we're gonna run conch, and just to be clear, conch, okay, we can simply define that if we can, never mind, conch 1 into vector cons, okay, 2, yep, we are doing good. Conch, I think it will reverse all the entries. So for something like that, we can use vector and then push it at the end. But who cares, bro? We will just call reverse. Okay, rest end, right? Now we have returned a sock and for tags we gonna call tags, and then we call this, right? Then we have this thing, and it takes tags, right? A sock tag, then we simply call conch a sock on return, and hopefully this should work, right? So let's go over it. First of all, can we like make this part better? You can simply get rid of that and filter, move it into function, and I don't know, I think we don't have syntax highlighting as of now. Let's see how it will behave. And okay, so it's kind of looks super ugly. Okay. Return conch sock. Okay, this part is stupid. Can I get rid of that? And next line still doesn't look better. Okay, so conch. Okay, so this part is we can. Okay, before doing anything, let's just test it out. I'm pretty sure a lot of errors. Okay, notes with tags, and it's gonna take first of all, it's not gonna take anything as of now. Notes with tags. Okay, we have to call that. Get tags. That is super awesome. So it's selecting for. Okay. Notes. I think there is something wrong. First n nil and then we simply return that, else we use nth rest. Let's call that and see how many items we get. ID 4. And we do get like everything, but we are not, it's not returning. So where could be the error? Okay, I think so. This part is very clear. Recur, or what we can do, we can say simple let and call rest pending items, and tags, right? So sock and tags. Let's sock into empty map and tags, and the data will be an empty map, and it's working fine, right? So and then we conch into the return value, tag pivot id, tag pivot id. So return recursive is the last item. Soak into nth, then we conch into return. And the issue now is first we take pending items, then we take tags, right? So we have to provide tags. Okay, this is let, not in let, probably returned. Yeah, right, never mind. So let's try to run that. I'm pretty sure the error is still not fixed. Too many argument to if. Okay. If null. So if not, actually the rec has to be the last. So I think one thing we also like can improve is on, instead of filter we can use sum. So if we find some value, now it will be like filter out all the IDs, that is the ID is tag, but never mind, just for readability. Our issue is now it's something, a new issue that have occurred. Okay, so I think I will just keep an not symbol in this context. Well, let's see. Right, now what we gonna do, we're gonna do that. Line number 7. 1 2 3 4. Okay, so in if, too many arguments in if. Okay, I think we kinda missed the let. Yep, we closed it too early. Okay, what do you mean by with tag notes with the tag? Clojure print. So why it's getting a map? Are we returning something first? Return conch. Oh god, bro, we have to use cons, not conch. Hopefully it should work, right? And it does works now, but one thing we have to call reverse, else we just prepend into vector. I think that will also work. And ID tag 5 has items 2 3 4, yes, also the 4 has. So now it's kind of like similar to the version we saw in PHP, but then we also have to call like reverse. I think that's it for today. It's too late already. I'm gonna crash now. Yep. think I think I will just roll up this project or move to something else, but I will still be using Clojure and playing around with that. Yep, I think it's a fun language. Yep. Yeah, I think we are done. See you. Good night, guys. Is there anyone watching? No. I guess one guy. No messages. Never mind. Bye bye. Start.